Welcome back to Robin Reviews. I mentioned in a previous video on the Rubik's Cube that one of the harder Rubik's Cubes that I have is a combination of Rubik's Cube and Perplexus. And then while I explained in that video what Perplexus is, I thought this was a way better way to determine. So this, I got a number of years ago. This is the Perplexus Epic. This is, to put it bluntly, this is a labyrinth inside a ball. And so, if you see here, there's a ball, and it's a labyrinth. Now, if anyone's seen these before, this is not a great surprise to you. If you haven't, they are quite maddening. I've had this again for at least 7 years. I've never gotten all the way through it. You might be looking at this and think, well, it looks complicated. It's more than just complicated. In here is a labyrinth with 125 steps, which you have to do perfectly, or the ball will fall out and you'll have to start again at the beginning where it's right there and it says start. How this works is, you see there at the beginning where the ball is, there's a number 1 with an arrow. And so how it goes is you would keep going. And I'm going to hold it like this on purpose because on the other side, on the right side here, it says number 2 with an arrow. And so you have to continue to work the ball around to get to number 2. number 2. And then it's about to come to a little blue bridge. And on that blue bridge is the number 3. And so you get it across into that blue bridge. And I'm not going to try and do the entire thing for you, because I haven't done it myself. But you see there, once it gets over the bridge, hidden there, I don't know if you can see from that angle, is a number 4 with an arrow. And then that turns into number 5. And it goes on and on and on. See, I just failed. As you can hear, I failed, and the ball is making sure I know that. There are bridges, there are tunnels, there are these ones, which are a bit maddening. So it's a series of staircases where you have to keep doing little bumps, because if you just let it go, it's going to get stuck. There's also moving tracks, and so you can see that double track that's near the bottom right now, the blue track. Once you put the ball in its cup right there, and you slide it, the whole thing slides with it. And so you have to make sure. And there's some that, like, as soon as you finish one and you flip it over, it's basically the same thing backwards. There are different areas where the ball barely fits. Like if you see here, number 80, when it gets across, you have to be very careful because you have to basically get the ball and turn the ball at the same time. And so this is maddening for me only because I've only gotten a certain distance, and I do love puzzles. I feel like eventually, if I were to give it the proper time, I could do it. There are different levels. If you're seeing this and you think, oh, like if your kid loves, if you have kids, or your kid at heart yourself loves puzzles and mazes, these are great. They do have different levels, and so if there's someone who you think would want one, but maybe not the Epic version that has 125 different levels, don't get that one. I'll include a link below where you can see some of their products, and but they're really great ways to keep people busy and to really challenge the mind. I did try once, and I think I purposely dropped it, got it to land in 125, and I left it there for a while just to pretend like I did it. And then I think someone found me out, or they shook the ball again. Here you have 113, 104. But what I will say about this one, again, I've only used this one. I've never tried the lower versions. It's incredibly ingenious, though. I mean, you can see here, this is actual size. It's not zoomed in. It's pretty ingenious that they were able to fit 125 different levels here. Again, most, if not every step in the ball has an inverse side. And so, I mean, I guess you could look at it as there are, 62 or 63 different levels. But the fact that it all fits in here and it all works together as one maze is quite incredible. I don't happen to know offhand the number of levels there are in the other versions of the Perplexus, but this is the Epic, and I think when I got this, I was punished a little bit because of how hard it is, but it is a really good challenge. And so if you can envision with me for a second, and I'll do one of these videos, envision a maze like this, but in a large Rubik's Cube, and that's what the Rubik's Perplexus is. You'd start on like a number 1 in the top left corner, but then by the time you get to number 2 is not yet in the top right corner, and so you have to be adjusting the larger pieces of the Rubik's Cube as you go to make sure that you're able to continue the ball on the maze. That one I've come close to doing. I think I've gotten like 3 levels, because you also have to be very gentle as you turn it and make sure you're not turning it the wrong way or flipping it over, because like the ball, the Rubik's Cube, if you flip it over at the wrong time, the ball is just going to be loose and you're going to have to start all over again at the beginning. So one of these days we'll do a video for that too, but this is the Perplexus. I highly suggest it for parents. If you have like older preteens who love challenges and maybe have mastered Rubik's Cubes or things like that, you should get one of these for them, because it keeps them busy and they're going to want to keep doing better and better. But yeah, this is the Perplexus Epic, and I'll do links below if you want to check out other products like this, but I highly suggest it. Thanks for watching.